Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of the return for rapid fire news. I wasn't too sure if I was going to bring this back or not, but I missed it. I decided to bring it back. I don't have the other original episodes from before, but I'm thinking right now this will be a video only episode, and then I'll see if bringing about not only this to a part of the podcast, but maybe other things like Q&As, just to actually bring a lot more to the podcast and everything. So I am excited to actually have this back. I like talking about the news and looking on it and seeing what's going on. So being able to have it back here for rapid fire news officially, and it's looking to hear basically to be here uh, to stay for the long one. So I am happy about that. So I appreciate you for coming on in for the return episode for, of course, the In the Hot Seat podcast presents rapid fire news. And I got quite a bit here with this one for this week's episode. This is mainly for the latest WWE NXT releases. Now, it has been about most likely 10 or so releases. It hasn't been as much as the most previous releases, but it still sucks nonetheless to actually see that. So I do have a list of the actual people who were released. So among those that were actually released, part of that with Paige, Prince Valley as well. So we also had Sanjana George on this one, Draco Anthony, who's been seen as of late on NXT 2.0. Also Priscilla Perota on this one, basically one and a half of Indy Hartwell's tag team there, which actually does actually suck on that because they were actually doing a lot, especially with Duke Hudson and as well Dexter Loomis. And speaking of which, he was also part of the list, unfortunately, and actually was released. And with that whole storyline with those two teams and everything, I thought it was really cool, especially with Index being so well working together and everything. I really enjoyed that. I wish they didn't have to actually have that happen to be letting go Dexter Loomis like that, and I thought he was basically there for the long one and everything, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. Ryland Devine on that as well. Also, where we had Harlan, you might recognize him from being with Joe Gacy and everything, and being together too as of late recently. So that actually does suck on that. So Joe Gacy basically on his own. As of right now, I feel like those two were basically in it for the long run and being a tag team, being able to deal things together. So, I feel like, things were going well, and it does suck, unfortunately, that he was also let go. Other ones that were able to be let go with Hideki Suzuki on that one, Alredo Ruiz, Tyler Rust. Recently, he's been, basically on and off there as well, but that was like overtime and everything as I see it on the list. But also where we had Malcolm Bivens being a part of one of the recent releases and everything definitely sucks because he was a part of Diamond Mine. And also on top of that, we had Roderick Strong also asking for his release. So I feel like Diamond Mine was definitely short-lived. I feel like we could have seen a lot more going with the group and everything, having Ivy Nile, one of my favorites out of the group, when we had the Creed brothers, and now basically as a tag team. And I'm sure Ivy Nile probably deal with the women's tag team division or just be on her own. I can actually see that going for her. So hopefully she will actually be sticking around. The same thing with the Creed brothers, but I can see Michael Bevins working with a lot of talent in AEW, especially if Roderick Strong grows. Definitely seeing where he can go there after WWE and goes there. So I can see them being together, or I can see Roderick Strong actually being with the rest of the Undisputed Era that's there. Definitely for sure. So with both of them, there's basically endless possibilities, definitely for sure. Even if Malcolm Bivens doesn't end up going to AEW, even if he goes to other companies like NWA, definitely, or possibly for Impact Wrestling too as well. So that is definitely a possibility. So I thought, that definitely does suck, especially, how well I thought Diamond Mine was going. Also, where we had Dakota Kai being one of the main people to be released, it definitely does suck. She just recently I was able to be there with Raquel Gonzalez at the time, now Raquel Rodriguez with the name change. So it does suck to actually see Dakota Kai be like, oh, I feel like she would have caught up back with Raquel, especially now that she's on SmackDown. I felt like after over time, Dakota Kai would actually be on SmackDown with her. That would have made sense and have her be able to shine, not just on SmackDown, but on Raw too, and the main roster as a whole. I could have definitely seen that for her. So that would have been really cool, but definitely Dakota Kai, one of my favorites, and it definitely hearing that definitely sucks for sure. So that's basically mainly all the releases that have been able to happen. So a small list, but it still sucks to be able to hear that as well. I look forward definitely to see what's going to be happening next and everything, to see where everyone else would be going and everything. So we'll see what happens with that. So there is still definitely life out there, and it should be interesting to see where things will be going down, what's going to be happening, and everything else in between. So those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Leave your comments down below in the comment box for this video, and as well leave a like, subscribe, and as well hit the notification bell because it helps out grow the channel with all your support that I appreciate each time. And with that being said, that about does it for this episode, the return episode for Rapid Fire News. With the podcast wise, I am looking to be reviewing Impact Wrestling Under Siege, also for WrestleMania Backlash upcoming, and as well AEW Double or Nothing. So a lot to look forward to for the month of May, so there's plenty more right here for the In the Hot Seat podcast YouTube channel and for the podcast as a whole. So definitely I'll be on the lookout for that. So I appreciate you enjoying this week's episode for Rapid Fire News. Until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video, whenever the hell the next video may be. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day and as well the rest of your week. I'll see you next time.